Class 11. I am Ordendu Palui, your geography teacher. Today I am going to teach you chapter 3, Interior of the Earth, from the book Fundamental of Physical Geography. Okay. So when we say interior of the earth, we are talking about the inside of the earth. And I think you all know that there are three concentric layers: crust, mantle and the core. Crust is the uppermost layer and the mantle is the second layer and core is the innermost layer. We will discuss in detail about these three layers in my next class. So we can see various types of landscape in the earth's surface due to two processes. Number one is endogenic process and second one is exogenic process. Endogenic process means some internal process like volcanic activity, like earthquake, like plate tectonic movement, like constant plate tectonic boundary, then divergent plate tectonic boundary, then transform plate tectonic boundary. And similarly, exogenic processes mean some external processes like wind activity, water activity, glacier activity and some weathering, denudation, mass wasting, like those. And now our earth scientists research on these three layers and the interior of the earth and give us various information about the interior of the earth. So our earth radius is almost 6,370 kilometer. 6,370 kilometer. Okay. No one can reach the center of the earth. For that reason, but we have to know about the sources of information in the interior of the earth. So for that reason, there are two sources of information. Number one is the direct sources and second one is some indirect sources. So let's talk about some direct sources. The first direct source is the rock. Okay, so rock is very much important direct information and we get some important information about the interior of the earth from the rock. Which type of rock? Which type of rock we get direct from the interior of the earth. We can't get the proper information from the surface rock because surface rocks are influenced by weathering, mass wasting, denudation like process. Okay, for that reason the deepest ocean drilling project occurred. The deepest drilling project in ocean at Kola in the Arctic Ocean, which is almost 12 kilometer. And the interesting fact, our crust, depth of our crust is almost 30 kilometer. Huh? Yes, and the deepest drilling project so far 12 kilometer and our crust depth 30 kilometer and the radius of the earth 6,370 kilometer. Just imagine. Okay, and the next direct source is the volcanic eruption. Volcanic eruption is also very much important evidence for as a direct source because magma come out from the volcanoes direct from the inside of the earth. For that reason they gives us some genuine information and earth scientists collect this magma sample and they experiment in their lab and give us some genuine knowledge about interior of the earth or inside of the earth. So these are two main direct sources of information. Okay, and now discuss about some indirect sources. Indirect sources are some mining activity, mathematical analysis and gravity. Okay, So mining activity, by mining activity we can get some information about the interior of the earth. And second indirect source is the mathematical analysis. By mathematical process we can get the gravity, we can get the distance, we can get the density, velocity. Okay. And the last one, the most important indirect source is the gravity. Students, gravity is not same all over the earth. The highest gravity we can find in the center of the earth, and the distance from the center comparatively more in the equator and lesser in the pole region. For that reason we can get high gravity in the pole region, these two pole, north pole and south pole region, and the lesser gravity in the equatorial region. Due to high gravity we can get some huge natural resource in the polar region, northern pole and southern pole. This changes in the gravity is known as gravity anomaly. This is very much important for short type question. Okay. Seismic sources are the most important source to get knowledge about the interior of the earth or inside of the earth. So for that reason our topic is the earthquake. Okay. And now you can ask me, sir, what is the earthquake? Simply meaning is a shaking of the earth is known as earthquake. Now you can ask me, why does earth shake? Due to fault. Fault create pressure, and that pressure release the energy in a part. That part or that point is known as hypocenter, and then the energy wave travel different direction and reach the surface. The point on the surface nearest to the focus is called epicenter. The nearest point is called epicenter. Okay. And an instrument called seismograph records the waves records the seismic waves. That those waves looks like this. Okay. And there are, we can broadly say that the earthquake had two types of wave. Number one is the body wave and second one is the surface wave. Okay. So there are two types of body wave. Number one, first one is the P wave or P, and second one S wave or secondary wave. And in the surface wave there is a L, means large wave. Okay. So now what is the P wave and what are the characteristics of the P wave? P wave is also known as primary wave or pressure wave. Okay. And this wave first record in the seismograph, and it forces the ground backward to forward. Okay. And passes through solid as well as liquid. Clear? This is P wave. Complete. Second body wave is the S wave, known as secondary wave. Okay. And also known as shear wave. Secondary wave or shear wave. This S wave record after P wave in the seismograph. Okay. And this S wave work slow, swing, rolling. So combine those two forces, P wave forward, backward, then S wave slow, swing and rolling the ground. This how they work. Next, the last wave is known as the L wave or large wave. Students, the large wave is the most destructive and it is last record in the seismograph. Okay, and it is last record in the seismograph and it is known as also surface wave. Clear? This is all about earthquake. Next day I will teach you some different types of earthquake effects of earthquake, how can we measure earthquake, and the rest of the chapter. Thank you.